By virtue of the powers vested in me, as Vice Chancellor, I hereby constitute this congregation of the University of the Witwatersrand for the conferment of degrees and granting of diplomas and certificates. Welcome to this virtual year-end graduation ceremony. Greetings, students and graduates, parents and friends of the university, and guardians of those that are graduating today in this virtual ceremony. As you all know, ideally you would all have been here, but given where we are with regards to this current cycle of waves, we thought it best to do it virtually in line with our COVID safety protocols. However, I'm honored to be addressing you today on the occasion of your graduation from this prestigious university, one of the top 1% in the world. Your commitment and persistence has paid off. You are now part of a group of illustrious vets equipped with world-class education, second to none, that will undoubtedly open many doors to you. For almost 100 years, this university has nurtured intellectuals and innovators, scientists and researchers, some of whom have gone on to win several global renown and prizes, including Nobel Prizes. Some have gone on to make great discoveries and originate and solve original problems. We have produced problem posers and problem solvers, activists and artists, critical thinkers and thought leaders who punch above their weight in the world. Today you've become a member of this illustrious class. Because of the effort and with the support of those that were behind you, have given you, you are now equipped with the necessary academic, research, and professional education to reshape your future and the future of your family, our country, our continent, and the world. Coupled with the skills, both hard and soft, that you've learned outside the classrooms, the networks you've developed, your curiosity and your desire to change the world for the better, you now have what it takes to be a good leader you were always meant to be. A Vetsi at heart and a Vetsi indeed. You are our future leaders, and you present hope in these troubled times for us all. Vetsis have had a disproportionate impact on our world. Working with you and through you, you have stayed true to our mission focus of the 3 core areas as Wits transitions into its next century. Developing excellent graduates who leave their mark on society. Secondly, conducting world-class research and fostering innovation. And finally, using your location, our location in the economic heartland of Africa to lead from the global south. These 3 pillars will need to be underpinned by a renowned commitment to the principles of Wits' core values. I urge you to hold dear the values of this great university as you journey through life. Some which you might remember are: remain curious and advance beyond your comfort zones. Ask questions of everyone and everything. Think critically and independently, and hold those in power to account. Value intellectual excellence. Be resilient and adaptable whilst being a socially active citizen. Celebrate the diversity of people, places, and ideas. Foster democracy and cherish humanity. This ceremony represents a fortuitous moment of hope and inspiration, an opportunity to chart a new course that can propel us into a new beneficial world order which will be good, for public good, for the good of all people, for the good of future generations, for the good of our country, our economy, and for the good of an inclusive community, for the advancement of our society. We will look to you to help us as we launch into our new century of existence next year. We will continue to harness our intellectual resources for good. We will continue to foster the development of excellent graduates who advance society, foster the creation of a research culture which contributes towards evidence-based solutions to all our global problems. We will continue to foster innovation and lead and use our location in Africa to lead from the global south. In closing, please allow me to once again congratulate you, your family, and your loved ones on your momentous achievement. This day is yours and represents the combination of your hard work and dedication and resilience over the years. Remember this moment, savor it, as graduation is an important milestone in your life that will change your life forever. Well done and Godspeed. Candidates will be presented for degrees, diplomas, and certificates in the 5 faculties: the Faculty of Commerce, Law and Management, the Faculty of Engineering and the Built Environment, the Faculty of Health Sciences, the Faculty of Humanities, and the Faculty of Science. In terms of the statutes of the university, I confer degrees on the persons whose names appear in the graduation program.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I call upon the Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences to present candidates for degrees, diplomas, and certificates.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present candidates for degrees in the Faculty of Health Sciences. To the graduates in the Faculty of Health Sciences for 2021, I want to say congratulations and well done. Despite the challenges thrown your way and the uprooting of traditional methods of teaching and learning, you have weathered the global upheaval experienced by the worst pandemic in the past century. Today represents a sweet yet a bitter moment as you enter into the next chapter of your lives, whether it be seeking employment, entering into the job market, or plans to continue with your further studies. It is unfortunate that the university's plan to hold a ceremony in person has been uprooted by the sudden increase of COVID-19 cases being experienced across the province. Undoubtedly, this has brought lots of disappointment to you, your families, and others that have supported you in accomplishing this significant milestone in your life. You can, however, rejoice and be proud of having completed this journey of your life with the successful completion of your degrees and diplomas. So as you embark on the next chapter of your life, be rest assured that you will face many more challenges. However, I do wish you well, and I'm confident that the training that you have received at the University of the Witwatersrand will equip you well in the next phase of your lives. Go well, and I thank you. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, as Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences, I have the honor to present candidates for a degree of Doctor of Medicine. For a thesis title, An Assessment of the Time-Saving and Economic Impact of Upfront Point-of-Care Testing in the Emergency Department and supervised by Prof. C. Feldman, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Laura Nicole Goldstein for a degree of Doctor of Medicine. For a thesis titled The Spectrum and Clinical Outcome of Civilian Cerebral Gunshot Wounds at the Major Trauma Center in South Africa and supervised by Professor D. Clark, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Victor U.I. Kong for a degree of Doctor of Medicine. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, as Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences, I now have the honor to present candidates for degrees in Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Prevalence, Histological Patterns, and Genetic Variations of Chronic Kidney Disease among HIV-infected patients in Kano, Nigeria, and supervised by Associate Professor R. Duarte and Professor S. Naika, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Aliyu Abdu for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Assessment of the Dental Eruption Sequence and Growth of the Long Bones in Black Southern African Children, and supervised by Professor L. Shepherds and Dr. T. Jashashvili, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Abdul Jalil Aditola Adebesan for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Strengthening the Emergency Care System at the Primary Health Care Level Using a Framework for Policy Analysis, and supervised by Adjunct Professor R. Cook and Professor R. J. Bruce, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Megan Lavina Bouts for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled A Retrospective Analysis of Laboratory Data to Identify the Clinical Practice Trends in Prostate Cancer Screening and Diagnosis by Level of Care in the Gauteng Province between 2006 and 2016, and supervised by Professor J. George and Professor D. Glencross, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Naseem Kesem for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled The Preferred Route of Hysterectomy in Women Without Uterovaginal Prolapse in a Poorly Resourced Setting, and supervised by Dr. W. Edridge and Professor B. van Herendal, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Andreas Chrysostomo for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Shoulder Pain in Amateur Fast Bowlers, Incidence, Associated Factors and Prevention, and supervised by Prof. B. Olivier and Dr. M. E. Kochran, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Muhammad Atif Dawood for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Investigating Allele Sequence Diversity at the Huntington Disease Loci HTT and JPH3 in African ancestry individuals, and supervised by Dr. F. Bain Savanu, Professor A. Kraus, and Professor D. Moncton Cochran, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Jessica Dawson for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Development and Validation of a Quality of Life Questionnaire for People Living with Epilepsy in Ghana, and supervised by Dr. Aisha Balala and Associated Professor J. Kestelagen, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present David Atsu Degby for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Prevalence and Characterization of Chronic kidney disease in a rural setting in South Africa, and supervised by Professor S. Naiker, Dr. A. Wade, and Professor J. George. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present June Fabian for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Development of the Neuropathic Pain Screening Tool in isiZulu, and supervised by Professor S. Chetty, Dr. A. Wadley, Professor W. Daniels, and Professor P. Kammerman, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Temetop Richard Fakbohon for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Awareness and Acceptance of Alternative Interventions for Malaria Control Among Stakeholders in Tanzania, a community engagement process, and supervised by Dr. F. Okumu and Associate Professor N. Christophidis, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Marceline Francis Finder for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Long-Term Trends and Risk Factors for Arthritic and Low Back Pain, using population-based surveys from the United States of America, and supervised by Dr. A. Wedley and Professor P. Kammerman, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Anne Elizabeth Ioannidis for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled The Ought versus the Is, the sources used by doctors for decision-making in medical quandaries, and supervised by Dr. A. Egan and Professor A. Dye, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Tracy Catherine Jacowitz for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled A Comparison of Multifactorial Statistical Models for Age at Death Estimation from the Adult Skeleton tailored to a South African forensic context, and supervised by Professor M. Stein, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Nicolene Juas for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Phenotypic and Functional Characterization of CD56 bright and CD16 neg natural killer cell subsets within the context of influenza vaccination, and supervised by Professor C. Timerson, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Patty Cheryl Kay for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled A Study of HIV Presentation to an Adult Emergency Department and Development and Validation of an Outcome Prediction Model, and supervised by Professor F. Parok, Professor G. Richards, and Professor W. Fenter, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Abdullah Ibrahim Laye for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Statistical Modeling, Approaches for Longitudinal Multiple Outcome Data from Immunoepidemiological Studies in Entebbe, Uganda, and supervised by Professor J. Levine, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Lawrence Lubek Yayi for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Investigating the Social Co-Construction of Masculinity and Sexual Development Among Very Young Adolescents in Karagocho slum in Nairobi, Kenya, and supervised by Associate Professor Y. Sikwiya and Dr. C. Kabiru, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Beatrice Weterero Mena for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis entitled The Management of Children with Severe Acute Malnutrition in Northwest Province of South Africa, and supervised by Dr. P. Dit Lopo, Dr. W. Slemming, and Professor J. Els, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Faith Nankasa Mambulu for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Identification of Expression Quantitative Trait Loci and the Functional Impact on ADME Genes, and supervised by Professor D. Mevri Demlin and Professor M. Ramsey, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Jenny Mary Matthew for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Bone Mineral Density in a Cohort of Young Adult Women using Depo-Provera and Tenofovir, Kampala, Uganda, and supervised by Professor M. Beksinska and Professor J. Pettifor, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Flavia Kiwiwa Matawu for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Long-Term Assessment of Hepatitis B virus replication inhibition by an ancestral AAV vector carrying primary microRNAs, and supervised by Dr. B. Moa and Professor P. Arbuthnot, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present Njabulu Sibazinzle Mayandu for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis title, Patterns of Antemortem Skeletal Trauma in the 20th Century South African Cadaveric Populations, an analysis of secular trends in trauma expression, and supervised by Associate Professor P. Randolph Koene, Dr. S. Merlo, and Professor A. Morris. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Kanilu Molopiane for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled A National Level Evaluation of Viral Load Outcomes of HIV-Infected Pregnant Women, Closing the Gaps Towards Eliminating Mother-to-Child Transmission of HIV in Children in South Africa, and supervised by Dr. T. Kufa Kakeza and Professor G. Sherman, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Faith Moyo for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Developing a Framework for Clinical Education Program of Undergraduate Nursing Students in Ghana, and supervised by Dr. S.J. M. Armstrong and Dr. H. Thurling, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Gilbert T. Nkwal Nachinab for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Molecular Epidemiology of Cryptococcus neoformans and Cryptococcus gattii in South Africa, and supervised by Professor N. Govender and Professor W. Mayer, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Sarisha Devi Naika for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Early Immune Responses in Acute Pancreatitis and their Role in Predicting Disease Severity, and supervised by Professor M. Smith, Dr. P. Frufonte, and Dr. T. Augustine, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Mawangala Nalisa for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled The Impact of Diabetes Mellitus in Pregnancy on Maternal and Health Outcomes, and supervised by Professor S. Norris and Professor N. Levitt, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Veronique Nicolau for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Occupational Noise-Induced Hearing Loss in South African Miners, Risk Assessment Explored at a platinum mine in South Africa, and supervised by Professor K. Koza Shangese and Professor G. Nelson, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Leopoldo Rose Hankana for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Factors Influencing Growth and Body Composition Through Early Adolescence to Young Adulthood, and supervised by Professor J. Pettifor and Professor S. Norris, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Howard Lucanyo Nayati for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Patterns of Expenditure, Coping Mechanisms Among Urban Slum Dwellers Admitted for Emergency Surgeries in Ibadan, Nigeria, and supervised by Professor S. Fon and Professor J. Levine, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Taiwo Akanyode Obembe for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Construction and Functional Characterization of Genotype E of Hepatitis B virus replication competent plasmids and endogenous promoters, and supervised by Dr. C. Kinch and Professor A. Kremvers, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Luciana Ngasia Olubayo for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Immunogenicity Testing for HIV-1 Envelope Glycoprotein Complexes in Chinese Origin Rhesus macaques, and supervised by Dr. M. Killick and Professor M. Papatanasopoulos, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Roberto Carlo Pereira for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Intrinsic Subtype in HIV-positive and negative patients with breast cancer, and supervised by Dr. R. Duarte, Dr. S. Nitz, and Professor P. Ruff, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Bartomelo Precious Bacati for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Prevention Care for Secondary Health Conditions Among People Living with Spinal Cord Injuries in the Tshwane metropolitan area, and supervised by Professor H. Mayezwa and Professor J. Potterton, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Santi Imogen Pilusa for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled A Longitudinal Study of Antenatal Depression and Anxiety in Urban Black South African Women, and supervised by Associate Professor B. Hull, Associate Professor T. Rochat, and Professor S. Norris, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Stephanie Elaine Redinger for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled The Effect of a Single Bout of High-Intensity Sprint Exercise Program Compared to Traditional High-Intensity Sprint Interval Exercise and Endurance Exercise on Inflammatory Markers, Lipid Profile, and Health-Related Physical Fitness Measurements in Participants with Elevated Cardiovascular Disease Risk, and supervised by G. Torres and Professor D. Constantino, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Nivesh Rugbir for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled An Evaluation of the International Classification of Health Interventions to Establish its Suitability for General Surgery Coding, and supervised by Professor J. Bruce and Professor R. Madden, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Sitira Satyadev for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Genetic and Environmental Factors Associated with Cognition in an Aging South African Population, and supervised by Dr. A. Chowdhury and Professor M. Ramsey and S. Stolman, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Cassandra Claire Sue for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Sensitivities of Various Imaging Modalities in Detecting Skeletal Trauma in Simulated Violent Crime and Physical Child Abuse, a PIC model, and supervised by Associate Professor D. Britz and Professor M. Stein, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Amy Joyce Peace for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Labor Epidural Practice and Experience in Gauteng, and supervised by Professor S. Chatty, Professor F. Parak, and Professor P. Kammerman, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Janine Louise Wegner for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Prevalence and Transition of Blood Pressure and Body Mass Index in South Africa, and supervised by Professor J. Agathe Hansen, Professor S. Manda, and Professor S. Norris, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Muchiri Ilia Wandel for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled Examining Health System Responsiveness and Social Exclusion among Migrants Utilizing Gauteng Public Health Services, and supervised by Professor L. Rispel, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Janine Anthea White for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For a thesis titled The Functional Genomics of Genitalia Rotation in Male Anopheles funestus, and supervised by Dr. Wei Dahan and Professor L. Kukamur, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present Jakek Wellerin Zawada for a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Pharmacy. Nalisa Badamya Woyo Ganga. Fadila Kurambokas, with distinction. With distinction, Pauline Tendai Maniki. With distinction, Habibat Dolapo Salau. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Masters of Science in Medicine. Karine Clark. Olivia Sandile Dube. Fatima Bibi Warzok. Kyle Cameron Jacobson. Lawrence Matsoso Moshlomi. Ramson Rivombo. Patriandro van Rooyen. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Science in Nursing. Onolena Baliki, Penelope Colleen Davis, Ribang Gayatseche Tankane, Samuel Shari Lesemola, Ukendi Indaya Magui, Anacleta Leopolo Maketa, Jeffrey Takalani Mashadza, Shihloho Nicholas Molelengon, Katholelo Shekhofatso Moseke, Lee Ricky Cerebro, Bridget Lauren Weber. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor now to present candidates for the Master of Science in Occupational Therapy. Miksha Jagwanth, Victoria Tembeka Moredi, Alicia Myberg, Marinda Prinsloo, Terren Taat, Marie Terrein van der Westhuizen. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Science in Physiotherapy. Elizabeth Kim Kokyuti, Lisa Carey Hoff, with distinction, Roselle Labuskakni. Mercy Talumba Wanghokwe, Vahangwele Masuta, Vinod Cassandra Regal, Dalia Rosen. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Bachelor of Health Sciences Honours. With distinction, Lamaz Daniela Afonso, Linda Bester, with distinction, Zelma Bota, with distinction, Declan Carolyn, Wang Miao Chen, with distinction, Bavish Parashottam Daya, Nina De Frey, Masikole Faku, Shalene Fritz, Clark Kent Gilbert, Nicola Michaela Goncalves, with distinction, Vanisha Govender, Tanya Grensing, Daniela Ria Groves, Nambulelo Shwatwayo, Blessed Nasipo Joara, with distinction, Ronald Devon Kerr, Gwendolyn Simongila Kanaka, Larissa Kitchhoff, Sinonopi Joseph Kobo, Alicia Kotz, Joanika Labuskakni, with distinction, Muhammad Sahal Lala, Bianca Ludik, Ruimbo Madoka, Sunay Mulan, Amber Rose Manchest, Marali Mari, Ella Mari, with distinction, John Binay Mitchell, with distinction, Bongi Molefe, Sanele Justice Mavelase, Tato Kanyesile Indakane, Kanyesile Masana Indlovo, Gage Sidney Norton, Elizabeth Marita Oberholzer, with distinction, Firdaus Parak, Yasira Patel, Danae Pearson, Dhiren Pema, with distinction, Sunay Peters, Rivashini Pillai, with distinction, Zahra Sarwan, Aisha Sitar, with distinction, Yolanda Fanilesh Bonge Sirat, Henry Na Shadung, Abigail Sims, Savannah Spindler, Tristan van Dijk, with distinction, Lara van Heerden, Christian Edward van Niekerk, Helene Abigail van Vintel, and with distinction, Lorato Zwana. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Bachelor of Nursing. Veretso Penelope Shinganga, Innocentia Bonolo Guate, Natanya Joseph, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Nursing Year 4 Raymond and Majority Dart Medal, Angel Morangwa Khatle, Sihlobo Samuel Kumalo, Karabo Princess Langa, Yvonne Alexandra Lefeuve, David Maim Mabogone, Nomza Fuyelva Mabulula Hope Zama Mbata, Keshlesemeng Mokati, Rose Anel Matembu, Lungile Matembu, Nomkosi Sidembile Mitayane, who also receives the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Nursing Year 4 Award, Henrietta Stockdale Floating Trophy for Nursing Nestle Prize in Women's Health. Kia Mogechwe Nawana, Rialabocha Inkate, Kutluano Inkoko, Anita Vuchelo Nawan Nam Midwa, Precious Sibaziso Niyaba, Imika Marvelous Okole, and Brittany Parker, who also receives the Barbara Robertson Prize for comprehensive nursing in Year 4, the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Nursing Year 4 Award, and Henrietta Stockdale Floating Trophy for Nursing. Charity Dineo Sinego, Imbale Kanyesile Sitebe, Patricia Sandesile Skosana, Etlahang Tekiso, Bright Fano Shikovela, who also receives the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Nursing Year 4, the John Gear Memorial Award for Nursing, and the Tara Floating Trophy for Psychiatric Nursing. Fortunate Dabiseng Sotetsi, who also receives the Nestle Prize in Women's Health. Imfondo Tabiso Zwane, Namuyanya Yvonne Ziwa. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Bachelor of Pharmacy. Zuhaira Ali, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Pharmacy Award in Year 4. Sajid Amra, Ramana Ayub, Samina Badat, Rais Muhammad Charfrey, Sabiha Desai, Amara Jiwabe, Rushil Gopal with distinction, and he also receives the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Pharmacy Award in Year 4. Also with distinction, Sumaya Gora, who also receives the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Pharmacy Award in Year 4. Pranishan Gowden, Tahir Hafiji, Brittany Robin John, Masejo Riabetswe Ketloafetse, Intando Yankosi Kumalo, Yerem Kim, Tekatso Retsolo, Intombizotwa Luaka, who receives it with distinction and also receives the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Pharmacy Year 4. Kahiso Makapane, Mahlako Makola, Janice Leteboho Makosholo. Also with distinction, Tapiwanashe Nolene Malenga, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Pharmacy Award. Nomalungelo Simpiwe Mapalala, Trudy Lishasha Mashabela, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Pharmacy Award. Lindsay Tinswalo Matavula, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Pharmacy Award. Mulanga Matohoho, with distinction, Machlogonola Matleila, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Pharmacy Award. Fiwokule Mazambele, Jabulule Matleshe, Nasifi Makachane, Ulende Makonto, Ramokholo Charlotte Motong. With distinction, Tasneem Modi, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Pharmacy Award. With distinction, Rabia Suleiman Muhammad, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Pharmacy Award. Brilliant Makuna, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Pharmacy Award. Lebohang Matthews Makuna, Lebohang Kristen Molele, Sotua Alina Potio Moleleke, Confidence Koketso Monyet Shwale, Lemiz Musa, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award, Munisa Musa, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award, Princess Ayanda Moyo, Ganyisa Monare Mutwa, and Karan Naidu. Kevashan Naidu, Sechan Naidu, Nomalanga Ayanda Indlovo, Sinande Pamela Prudence Intluana, Matimu Epitep Ngobeni, Morangwa Slindile Ngobesi, Samkelokule Lovely Nkosi, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award. With distinction, Nafisa Patel, who receives the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award, Moribula Gloria Pilusa, Mamogoba Matlo Rakhase, Rimonelwe Ramafoko, Usama Said, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award, Nadira Ibrahim Sirat, with distinction Nasira Sirat, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award, Puleng Sikele, Esther Shilongo Shuping, with distinction, and also receiving the Dean's Bachelor of Pharmacy, Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award. With distinction, Bongumusa Spumulele Sitole, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award and Pharmacology Award for B Pharm in Year 4. Imbale Sichinga, Logan Jade Spinikum, Mashal Said, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award, Nkobele Tabete. With distinction, Selo Lesebe, Selo Tole, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award, Drusel Mawanza Shimanga. With distinction, Karishma Vallabh, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award, Nakia Yassin Veli, Muhammad Veli, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award, Teresa Paul Kutapilil Farugis, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award, and Fitile Mildred Zwane, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Pharmacy Award. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Bachelor of Science in Occupational Therapy. Jafar Ali, who also receives the award of Occupational Therapy Association of South Africa Research Award. Samia Arbi, who also receives the Occupational Therapy Association of South Africa Research Award. Gemma Rose Armstrong, Letitia Audi, Julia Sinclair Bayliss, Kirsten Lee Berry, Adrian Briley, Sarah Frances Beardowell, who also received the Psychiatric Occupational Therapist Prize, Cassidy Kelder, Robin Callow, Carrie Ann Collinson, Kaylee Jane Corder, Adriana Georgia Daras, Fatima Daya, Lontay N. Derino, Zahra Gadi, Nicole Hrobla, Lauren Casey Holmes, Sajida Ismail, Tanswalo Matobo Kosa, Terran Irene Corey with distinction, who also receives the Occupational Science Prize, Occupational Therapy Association of South Africa Prize, and the Raymond and Majority Dart medals. Amina Kimi Ismail, Genevieve Emma Liebenberg, Shyamo Gensane Lot, Fatima Bibi Lunat, who also received the Occupational Therapy Association of South Africa Research Award, Darilo Inchatolo Mogane, Palesa Mashlangu, Radia Mohammed, who also receives Occupational Therapy Association of South African Research Award, Nicole Leandra Maia, Anika Meyer, Rafiala Michael, Hannah Batia Muller, Sibasile Nkwanyana, Natasha Parau, Carol Ruvimbo Favayi, Karen Pretorius, Siwele Inyana Masachona Rangata, Bonolo Maseteba Ratale, Olesa Zibego, Angelie Savelle, Alia Quintal Stanley, Maxine Jessica Tonkin, Suzanne van der Vente, Amber Jane van Staden, Raquel Lee Weinston, Sarah Ann West, Robin N. Zeller, Wanzi Zulu. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Bachelor of Science in Physiotherapy. Roni Allen, Michael Neves Elvis, who also receives the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Science in Physiotherapy Award. Dalia Shaina Blumenthal, Lisa Emily Bone, Ibot Tebe Ayuktabot Buma, Kaylin Kira Cornell, Amina Nagdi Dolly, who also receives the Joe Bin Hecker Award in Physiotherapy in 4th year. Kirsty Lael Dorsat, Trovino Dwarika, Naila Ibrahim, Ngozi Kaina Ejik, Sadia Essay, Mamonko Doctorson Futane, Amira Ghani, Emma N. Hayward, who also receives the Alfred Rothberg Medal for Rehabilitation, Kelly Jade Hurwitz, Casey Jane Hutton, Jadine Jacobs, Andrea Maria Kapakos, Keegan Luke Lail Vau, who also receives the Jean Blair Medal in Physiotherapy, Kevin Kamochelo Laka, Julia Lencioni, Lesedi Letlepo, Terran Ain Mackenzie, Debocho Mahopo, Fatima Magda, Kristen Marshall, Lindokule Riatlechele Masongo, Dale Elaine MC Burney, Amina Mullah, Ronald Sibosiso Moyo, Matinye Lihumo Natasha Infalele, Rahima Patel, Megan Caitlin Portmore, Robin Pierce, Karen N. Potgita, Aisha Rafi, Liacho Ralocho, Saida Rasul, Yochavet Zlata Reik, Gila Rachel Rosen, Joshua Yishai Schwartz, Kanyasile Sichoko, Talia Solomon, Kelly Joy Twine, Chisa Miriam Uduzu, who also receives the Alfred Rothberg Medal for Rehabilitation, the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Science in Physiotherapy Award, the Carlin Smuts Memorial Award, and the Raymond Emajori Dart Medal. Julia Fenter, Suzanne Fulyoun, Daniela Ruth Walker. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for Diploma in Advanced Nursing. Marvelous Kenjika Okowa. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Medicine. Marcel Engelbrecht, Fuyulvetu Fadana. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Medicine in Hematological Pathology. Tirosha Chetty, Lauren Lee Lemkus. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Science in Medicine. Grace Chioma Austin Aja with distinction. With distinction, Saskia Rushmar Bala. Jessica Sian Brothwell. With distinction, Erika Erlang. Jocelyn Andrea Foley. Imbuye Nelly Kalonji. Charlotte Mulatswana, Shamo Tieso Maluleke, with distinction, Asa Salani Manjaktika, with distinction, Nontobeko Mapashlala, Ritabele Nomvula Masiu, Felicity Londukule Mashlongo, Norwazi Farewell Mandabele, Simon Matlole Modiba, John Muhale, Caroline Motio Mokwena, Letsima Mahlatsa Tali Molet, and with distinction, Aurelie Mukendi. In Kamakonam Vincent Onwache Bolam, Nakwanda Faithful Pakati, with distinction, Dominic Sylvester, Chomotso Odorile Peggy Tabane, Munyaradzi Prince Zenganene. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidate for a Bachelor of Clinical Medical Practice with honors, Kwanele Pindile Makwanazi. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Bachelor of Health Sciences honors, Sarah Adam, Mark Jordan Agure, with distinction, Kevashan Bakwanden, with distinction, Ross Peter Boyce, Swenya Isabel Botner, Hayana Boyan, Zuria Kaji, with distinction, Iona Christopoulos, Victor Chungwane, Chavika Dayalal, Christine Dicknon, Siposiso Dlamini, Natasha N. Dodd, Joalina Marie Duplessis, with distinction, Charmaine Ruvimbo Zimban Hete, Kelabocha Me Fako, Tasneem Farad, with distinction, Mohantyanye Gaffin, Lauren Gilbert, Jordan Glenfield, with distinction, Batsheva Chana Golfan, Tasmia Gulam, Nina Shani Herring, Alina Holobuvia, Let Hologonolo Katane, Jabolo Kumalo, with distinction, Tema Esther Kozia, Intapo Marcus Lebelo, Tateho Lebone, Tato Lechode, Litabe, Fungai Maburutsi, Nelisile Nolutando Mais, Faith Cute Machabi, Tabang Maked, Nkopori Jackson Macholeng, Katlejo Mamabola, Mohadi Nalede Mapitya, with distinction, Joshua Sidney Martin, Anthony Ronel Marumo, with distinction, Nonchlanchla Petunia Masuku, Tenda Puluso Momela, with distinction, Sandra Batsirai Mezikana, with distinction, Shristi Masa, Luyando Indobeko Makizi, Mipone Ellen Mohale, with distinction, Amanda Valeria Makuna, Boicano Mulalelo Morele, Vantunada Papina Mukova, Mat Ogonolo Mutle, Kelly Dias Neves, Daniela Andrea Nicho, with distinction, Shelley Nityanandan, Shelley Nitian Nandam, Weli Inkomana, Nontutuko Zamalinda Insele. With distinction, Caitlin Jane O'Connor, Yolanda Pia, Kenilwe Pusiletso Pele, Kevana Palei. With distinction, Marissa Pullman, Sumari Pretorius. With distinction, Masifoko Pule. With distinction, Sandia Ramacharun, Mayuri Rangasamy, Momot Sekinyana Rapi, Aruba Rashid, Manishka Reddy, Nikita Reddy, Tracy Reddy, Farhana Nabila Seli. With distinction, Annabelle Victoria Schaefer. With distinction, Robin Sheepers. With distinction, Samantha Susan Schnell. With distinction, Natalie Ember Schroeder. With distinction, Laura Schlut. Dimakotso Charmaine Sima. Naku Pila Bernadine Shezi. With distinction, Caitlin Leah Slaughter. Tiniel Smith. With distinction, Dania Adrian Smith. With distinction, Kirsten Smith. Kiara Itendra Soni. With distinction, Emma Stein. Camille Sunka. With distinction, Caleb Johan Swanepoel. Rochelle Swanepoel. With distinction, Jennifer Ann Tempers. Masejo Tompa. Tegan Truter. Polisa Precious Sutetsi. Devin Rose van der Laar. Andrew Paul van Vieren. Marie Zane Fenter. Raisa Wadi. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Bachelor of Clinical Medical Practice. Kelsey Grace Bellingham, who also received a Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Clinical Medical Practice Award. Taylor N. Boer, who also received a Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Clinical Medical Practice Award. Megan Amy Damons, Reshekofet Ditswe Dikatene, Bianca Lucille N. Goldstone, Princess Magana, Sina Schlanschla Innocentia Mantengu, Kanyile Hilda Mashiane, Bohlale Mashishi, Nontokozo Matlolose, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Clinical Medical Practice Award. Shwarelo Mukona, Morimunko Kopotse Henrietta Moroba, Lungile Banele Matetwa, November Lungo Mavinga, Guguleto Indlovo, Sandile Gift, Nakabinde, Cheryl Amukelani Nkuna, Melanie Conscious Nkuna, Muzukisi Sipe Inteyane, Nyeka Christel Nwodo, Alum Kamohelo Ororak, Savinati Rowanka, Ishabele Olga Sibate, Mashad Dorothy Sifara, Boshlale Sehloho, Tabiso Lehlolo Sehlolo, Shlamulo Salinda, Nokulunga Charlene Sitole, Stephen Swanepoel, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Clinical Medical Practice Award, Mokotlade Onika Tahe, Zamanya Mande Precious Twala, and with distinction, Zetu Zilambola, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Clinical Medical Practice Award. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Bachelor of Health Sciences. Aisha Abasi, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Health Sciences Award. Asma Ali Siabonga Asiyama, Carlo Flavio Barino, Jesse Danielle Blau, Jonathan Carl Bosch, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Health Sciences Award and a John Cameron Allen Award. Nicole Christian Brent, Isabella Cachero, with distinction, Alnura Kasim, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Joshua David Collins, with distinction, Michelle Crossman, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Matilda Estela de Freitas, Miguel dos Reis del Cabo, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Golofela Bridget de Coba, Fatima Dolly, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Justine Manda Dupont, Lishle Diase, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, with distinction, Cherish Kem Inyanya, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, with distinction, Amanda Jane Farina, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Fatima Finger, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Caitlin Victoria Fleming, Zahra Ghafoor, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Michaela Nicola Goncalves, with distinction, Kayla Tony Gordon, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Bianca Karina Ramalho Govia, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Cassidy Paula Johnston Gray, Delight Nomia Gumede, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Andrew James Holt, Gudzai Hove, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Nikma Jamal, Courtney Jeffrey, Mazwandile Jetta, Kayur Dipakumar Jivan, Cicelo Endosubekwe Ravanan Jones, Julia Kearns, Indabeseng Precious Blessing Kekana, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Lesejo Hanahaka, Singita Shiluva Kosa, Samkiloso Kosa, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Intando Tobekile Guzwayo, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Angie Kisiamba Kinunu, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, with distinction, Catherine Sarah Kirk, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Gemma Eden Krause, Dokozani Mazwandile Kumalo, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Ketumetse Stephen Jr. Gungon, Buntle Phoebe Lebese, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Tobeka Jogelo Lerobane, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Shwanelo Lechuanyo, Litabe, Namonda Precious Mabuza, Pumalela Bianca Azinani Mafuta, Lebochang Mohoro, with distinction, Clarence Indumiso Wiseman Mahlalela, who also received the Bachelor of Health Sciences Prize for Pharmacology, and the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award. Sibosiso Nolutando Mashlangu, Tato Princess Mohadi Malaji, Katlejo Malepane, Pabalo Makay Malindi, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Nampumalelo Malinga, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Sangita Faith Manganye, Impo Matole, Pabalo Batsitsana Matobako, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Tieto Monat Lala, Mira Grace Mendelo, Andile Nomshle Manyayi, Gensane Mofokeng, Tapielo Mohametsi, Taiba Said Mohammed, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Lesedi Molatakwane, Limpopo Geraldine Molefe. With distinction, Marco Gregory Mons, who also received the Dean's Merit Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Samishka Mutli, Bukhang Desmond Murake, Jade Kristen Morgan, Melissa Naledi Masalane, Tata Matang, who also received Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Leletu Nokolo Mapunza, Michael Munyai. With distinction, Hussein Ahmad Makbul Nabi, who also receives the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Michaela Naidu, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Mulanga Netamba, Asifekona Ngema, Nolwazi Portia Nkosi, who also receives the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Impone Jeanette Zangani, Sohini Patel, Crescinda Pereira with distinction and also receiving the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award. With distinction, Amy Jane Piquet, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award. Gabriela Petta with Pulhover, also with distinction, and receives the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award. Taylor Marie Pretorius, Impo Rahube, Zahra Raja, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award. Erin Ray Renfrew, Mariam Bibi Sahib, Charmaine Bianca Sindiswa Seribane, Lungelo Matabo Sihlogo, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award. Kaho Seremane, Nurei Henry Shadung, Luyanda Zamahlase Sibisi, Daniel Eleza Silman, Shifiwa Sitabule, Hana Nonchlanchla Southwood, Mabin Guzani Dinyeko Sukazi, Tracy Mao Sungu, with distinction, Dario Michael Testaferrata, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Carl Damon Timmerman, Ilea Timo, who also receives the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Jenna Sue van der Merwe, Eleniek van Riede van Oosthoorn, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Health Sciences Award, Milandi Falyun. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Bachelor of Health Sciences. Liam Peter Power Foss, Yumna Valele, Shannon Jodisi Vinar, Annabeth Murdoch Wolfert with distinction, Dylan Ross Wolf, with distinction Taylor Jade Hood, Shaun Yang, Jubika Zdravkovic, Wami Bontle Zikalala. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Medicine. Etonam Kwame Adzatia, Lucille Aldrich, Olivia Antos, Heroline Epleni, Alicia N. Carbonari, Joanne Augustine Carrera, Ahmed Al-Gahani, Kwingele Sibusiso Kagela, Ladawa Yasese Goga, Ian Noel Human, Laura Indaveri, Candace Angela Johnson, Claire Nicolette Launey, Vanuata Dennis Luposo, Victor Magumbeze, Mavis Nakutula Mavi Shibanda, Moto Ahemeke Kuyegai Mabonda, Sandra Lucky Motsisi. Rafael Mpeshle, Lungile Carol Mavelase, Kavita Naidu, Nishlin Naidu, Zoleka Josephine Kanyawa, Pumudzo Ndwambi, Tamarin Chantel Nell, Vive Nogaga, James Nonde, Wamukabat Badi Ntumba, Stacy Lee Ochse, Rachel Ofanidis, Solomon Terumbo Osa, Shapang Edison Firi, Daniel Nicholas Prince, Lungile Precious Sitoba, Shedrack Murake Klabani, Tabo Patrick Lolane, Godson Obiora Buzonwa. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Medicine in Anesthesia. Judon Bantu Kapajika, Samira Essa, Tracy Jade Ferreira, Natasha Jerkovic, Bojan Korda, Hilda Sungayi Masvikwa, Maria Musa, Gabriela Petty, Mulay Lumamba Doreen Slave, Dai Betu Volka, Erica Sharon Wessels, Yemweni Leonard Jami Yamba. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for Master of Medicine in Dermatology. Rosaline Chioma Ede, Fotis Kovilakas. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Medicine in Diagnostic Radiology. Nicholas Christophedes, Shabina Dawadi, Robin Merrill Wessels. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidate for a Master of Medicine in Emergency Medicine. Anulowapo Ademola Eboleren. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Medicine in Family Medicine. Elsie Mugisha, Shane Darren Murphy. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Medicine in Internal Medicine. Wesley Mark Etchison, Adekunle Omoni Ajayi, Romana Jasset, Pitutsai Muchichwa. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Medicine in Obstetrics and Gynecology. Simon Ibn Essa Ileka Mvula, Michael Niama Hammond, Sylvain Mapamba Kalonji, Okbanaya Orji. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidate for Master of Medicine in Orthopedic Surgery, Adam Hirschman. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Medicine in Pediatrics, Senolisiwe Busisiwe Zetu Belfa, Kesselin Patricia Carr, Ndiwe Nompumelelo Mabaso, Raisa Musakara Mohammed, Kitso Lesedi Marubata. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Medicine in Psychiatry. Gagu Siboniso Matsebula, Boto Bulediwa Peto. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Medicine in Surgery. Mami Tekiwa Bochwe, Ferret Lek, Nozolo Zeketelo Mashavave, Sitan Wienkosi Musu Shunji. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Medicine in Urology. Ruben Charles Ross. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for the Master of Science in Medicine. Abdul Rashid Tunde Amusa. Derushka Arna Chellan. Joseph Omoniyi Babalola. Wangay Mashoko. Lume Morrow. Christiel Nel. Robert Barasa Inyaku. Michelle Hollander Diaz. Angelica Barbara Pezek. Nelly Clotilde Shombo Simo. Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. Azra with distinction. Azra Adam, who also receives a Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery for a final year. Rahima Adam with distinction, also receiving the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. With distinction, Nicholas Jason Aikman, also receiving the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. With distinction, Defrosa Ayaya, who also receives the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. With distinction, Muhammad Ayub, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Anam Jafar Azhar, Videsh Bagrath, Mirza Muhammad Yazdan Beg. With distinction, Andrea Ferreira Barbosa, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. With distinction, Alexandra Bench, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award, as well as the Dennis Goldstein Memorial Prize in Family Medicine. Donovan Bester, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Bhavisha Amrat Bula. Namisha Ashish Bhatt. Kelly Blair, who also receives the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Emanuela Bauchi. Bianca Joanna Boyson. Nadia Borello, Dominic Simon Bowl, Jason David Briggs. With distinction, Damian Broncos, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Simone Butler. With distinction, Robin Lynn Balmer, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Katie Rose Baltitude, Yeshva Bunwari, Sabiha Chan, Cassandra Yuchin Chen, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Arya Chinia, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Leila Chunara. With distinction, Roanne Lynette Gutsia, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Michaela Louise Cole, Jeremy Raphael Crook, Eftimia Magdalene Darras, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. With distinction, Bianca Pereira de Oliveira, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Dajis Nayesh Defchan, Deborah Gif Glamani, Sebastiano Neville dos Santos, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. With distinction, Michael Andrew Douglas Henry, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Telly Daniel Drucker, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Suhail Dudia, Simbarashe Andrea Dangwa, Uzair Ibrahim, Brendan Els, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Jessica Lynn Elston, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Tyler James Epstein, Chantal Marie Isa, David Escher Ezra, Michelle Nicole Furman, Simon Wesley Fraser. With distinction, Robin Kelby Favey, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Kashifa Gatu, Louise Gerber, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. With distinction, David Stephen Giddings, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Kyle Christopher Gilday, Kiara Govender, Sadiyabanu Safik Gulamali, Julia Huntley, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. With distinction, Travis Edward Hall, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Tavir Husmuk Hargovan, Sheldon Hartmut Gruber. With distinction, Nazira Umar Hassan, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Denise Lee Houtrey, Laurie Lee Hermits, Kelsey Lynn Hills, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. With distinction, Gideon Hershowitz, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Danette Holloway, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Ashley Lee Humut, Chloe Howell, Georgina Hyland, Naveen Isaac. With distinction, Jonathan Michael Jacobson, who also receives the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Hafsa Jadwat, Rumana Gina, Temlin Jade Johnson, Zakaria Kaka. With distinction, Zahra Kala, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award, as well as the Max Michael Postel Prize for Clinical Medicine. Ellie Kellyan, Sabrina Kozekski, Tracy Weyima Gataka, Matthew Rees Kettles, Ditebogo Gutamo. With distinction, Rochelle Kluvensky, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Christiane Kleinans, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. With distinction, Tariq Kaur, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. With distinction, Daniela Yvonne Kruger, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Tokozani Kubeka, Alice Rose Langham, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Grace Leonard. With distinction, Kieron Lenton, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Masehla Letsola, Esther Yehudas Levine, James Cameron Lewis, Pabalo Likotsi, Fatoma Low, Fanani Londani, Zuvir Nihal Lachman, Mokhadi Make, Mashudu Maboho, Wisani Gif Mabuza, Alowani Medzia, Mano Medzinga. With distinction, Sarisha Maharaj, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Lizelle Heather Majavi, Michelle Nadim Majid, Sitembile Olga Makina, Shail Magdalene Makuela, Amukalani Malabi, Faga Maloka, Imran Mansour, Katlejo Maseko, Mikhongelo Hana Matebula, Taskin Meta, Sandile Matukane, Mendisa Fortunate Banjwa, Nkanyezi Mabele, Limuvani Helga Imbulaheni, Corner McBurney, Tyler Corner McKee, Mateus Jacobus Meyer, Funzo Mikosi. With distinction, Jonathan Elazir Mendel, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Zuleika Mita, Nokwanda Ayanda Makizi, Mahotso Perpetua Mohafe with distinction, who also received the award of the A.E. Wilkinson Medal for Clinical Surgery in a Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Tabang Raymond Makuna, Saidur Rahman Molla, Iman Mukadan, Mikael Mullah, Sanam Muthiram. With distinction, Mario Mokos, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Cassidy Morris, Khomotso Mosopyu, Sitembiso Mutembu, Enza Vanessa Mukuba, Sumaya Ismail Munshi, Motio Mutlone, Shanae Naika. With distinction, Kevania Naidu, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Prashan Naidu, Hugh Oliver Naidu, Anthea Hilary Naikan, Zanabushle Indoweni, Yuan Matheus Nell, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Sizan Nobushle Lisa Ngidi, Snen Shlantla Gwenya, Desmond Nkwashu, Leibon Zakaria Indambani, Archanan Reuven Nudelman, Jonathan Ochayon, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. With distinction, Claire Louise O'Donoghue, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Alexia Rain Oliver, Caleb Palmer, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. With distinction, Miriam Bibi Patel, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Namita Patel, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Fatima Pia, with distinction, Dajal Balay, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Yuvin Palay, Alicia Bisapia, with distinction, Taylor Sandra Poole, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery Award. Vian Pretorius, who also received the Dean's Meritless Bachelor of Medicine, and Bachelor of Surgery award. Alexandra Kristen Prince, Melissa Amy Purdon, Claude Byron Rabi, Duduzile Natasha Radebe, Fatima Zahra Rahiman, Neo Rebone Ramagaga, Obakeng Masha Ramatlo, Pooja Ramlal, Dane Joshua Rampini, Irvin Noel Ratipal, Tumelo Colin Ratladi, Christina Raxenidis, Shiratidzo Tasha Sanyaman Due. With distinction, Shelia Sarubdio, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. With distinction, Samha Sidat, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Bradley Max Siegel, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Mushle Khotatso Sengwayo, Zinshle Shabalala, Sufyan Sheikh Ibrahim, with distinction, and also receiving the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. With distinction, Guy Shimesh, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Ashley Megan Shepard, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Namfundo Shezi, Kanyasile Slema Sibia, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Anthony Damian Sinovich, Bianca Megan Smith, Jeanne Sokone, Louis Margaret Stark, with distinction, Chanel Brooks Stevens, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Lorenzo Tolles, Sabrina Isabella Stransky, Iman Sultan, Portomelo Tokobong, Karabo Tay, Shane Taitki, Caroline Ruby Thompson, with distinction, Jason Ryan Torben, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Rafilwe Grace Sukulu, Nielke van Irk, Caleb John Verge, Olivia Vicenten, Thomas Walzel, Shani Visna, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery award. Fatima Amina Zahid, Nokukania Zulu, Zamakushle Nosipo Zungu. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Dentistry. Ahmed Abdul Hafid. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Public Health. Nicole Amanda Engerman, Samantha Dube, Maya Jaffer, Machal Tine Manase, Maxon Maposa, Dineo Moshlele, Patience Vimbaye Mushamiri, Emmanuel Novas Pereira, Sunette Pinar, Sukolushle Pilime, Letitia Anima Sala Temper. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Science in Dentistry. Fatima Karam, Mashudu Lucky Mutavini, Nomkebo Precious Sengwayo. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Science in Epidemiology. Meki Pierce Achayo, Mary Puma Egiyakum, Yao Wuku Larbi, Vitumbiko Chijeri Chirwa, Innocent Lino Iron, Helena Mam Ama Frempong, Godwin Okeke Kalu with distinction, Angela Joy Kemvendo, Kibonge Raymond Longolongo, Denny Mabeta, Daniel Dennis Mapemba, Tandi Moulton, Beatrice Juma Makubwa, with distinction Chipo Mudzengwa, Sitembele Musamburi, with distinction Louis Mercy Mavangu, Sandile Simon Dabizita, Solvi Ngum Njong, Juliet Nuachuku, with distinction More Learnings Sibanda, Peri Mutungi Tukamu Hemba, with distinction Mina White. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Master of Science in Medicine. Valerie Jane Beaumont, with distinction Luvoyo Gensho. Kuriam Govender, Mazel Heskins, Omphile Shekofatso Mehu, Edward Mukwaya, Gustav Shan Mutesesira, Monyalele Elias Situsa, Warrens Mahlamola Tabane. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for the Bachelor of Health Sciences Honours. Simpiwe Lefabala, Cassidy Brooks, Natalie Nadine Cameron, Daniela Jessica Damachal, yes, with distinction. Also with distinction, Ferial Zuleika Ibrahim Hai, Ruvimbo Faith Forget, Kelly Lee Johannes, Dimpo Nozolo Kappa, Lisa Kemschel, Sianda Alex Madala, Retsidisitso Prudence Maziboko, Mahunsu Prince Sinako Moshlongo with distinction, Sako Fahlani with distinction, Mitchell Tanaka Muchichwa with distinction, Kahule Fadziri, Karabo Busasewe Lobatla, James Tumusime. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidate for a Bachelor of Dental Science, Ishlamulo Tobele Mashlaba. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Bachelor of Oral Health Sciences, Adila Danka, Ricardo Lima Felix Fernandez, Bertomelo Lafine, Rumana Lunat, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Oral Health Sciences in Oral Hygiene Award, Kiyomochetswe Chantel Makamu, Daniel Shepang Mafi, Yashvin Mehraj, Onaman Slobisani Malalazi, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Oral Health Sciences Award in Oral Hygiene, Ornate Hala Lisani Malalazi, who also received the Dean's Merit List Bachelor of Oral Health Sciences Award in Oral Hygiene. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for the Postgraduate Diploma in Child Health, Nolwandle Duma, with distinction Lucy Bertha Linda Grasa, Najez Ben Nasur Tlasi, Morongwe Sitogele Makwela, Noko Relebochile Mokobe, Nonjabulo Zolide Indlovo, Imbalelo Shamiswe, with distinction Daphne Constanze van Heerden. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a postgraduate diploma in health sciences education. Gary Harold Allen, Mohammed Augie Bashar, with distinction Joni Brenner, Kimberly Jardine, Shinyama Kanku, Galulawa Kone, Sandra Coutras, with distinction Tristan Gavin Alexandra Leonard, Shumani Charlotte Manenzi, Nasiru Muhammad, Sankeshan Padyachi, Anastia Abel Ugwanyi, Estelle Dorothy Watson, Nampumelelo Benedicta Zwane. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for the Postgraduate Diploma in Occupational Health. Fazile Gabela, Norman Masingita Kubayi, Ola Bocheng Andrew Lueto, Temi Johannes Maputa, Busasiwe Manisi, with distinction Baratan Natarajan, Tau Alfred Ngope, with distinction Non Kululeko Blessed Inkambule, Sibasiso Intole, Modisana Abel Ross Silashle, Peter Apula Siko, and with distinction William Petrus van Staden. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidate for Postgraduate Diploma in Public Health, Nakwazi Zubane. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for a Postgraduate Diploma in Tropical Medicine and Hygiene, Humaira Adam, Stephanie Adaho Ansong, with distinction Carlo Ricas Breitenbach, Janine Naomi Dameya, Magdalena Maria Erasmus, Kutze Kufa, with distinction Danita Linda Lagrange, Abram Joshua Leroux, Azra Mayet, Ramatechi Virginia Insone, Junaid Umar, with distinction Shanice Fatima Pillay, with distinction Anita Cornell van Niekerk, with distinction Arifa Yusuf.
Colleagues, graduates, and guests, this concludes the proceedings for today. And now, by the virtue of the power vested in me as Vice-Chancellor, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of the Witwatersrand. May the congregation rise.
Good day, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of our esteemed senior executive team and academic staff, and a special greeting to our graduates and viewers joining us remotely for today's graduation ceremony. In no version of our world ever did I expect to be participating in a graduation ceremony in which our renowned Great Hall was not packed to the brim with graduates and their loved ones. Graduation is the culmination of your academic journey and a time to recognize and celebrate the enormous amount of hard work and dedication that you have invested into your education. It is exceptionally unfortunate that I cannot address you in person. With that being said, please feel free to leverage the power of technology and social media and post some pictures and videos of how you're celebrating your graduation with all COVID protocols in place. Do not forget to use the hashtag #VITSI4Life. My name is Stacey Lee Bolon, and I'm the president of the WITS Convocation Executive. Convocation is a body established officially under the university statutes to represent graduates of the university, as well as the registrar, full-time permanent members of the academic staff, professors emeriti, and retired staff. I would therefore like to take this opportunity to welcome you, Wits graduates, as the newest members of our convocation. You have now officially joined the ranks of some 200,000 members of Wits convocation. Membership of convocation is free and gives its members unique privileges, which includes, for example, nominating the Chancellor of the university. Our convocation executive mandates that the Convocation Exco discusses and states its opinion upon any matters relating to the university, including matters referred to it by Council, allowing for the views of this body to be represented at the highest levels of governance of the university. Convocation acts as an official channel, allowing members to convey to the university management their views about the university, and thus forms a vital link between the university and the global community in which it operates. This is, of course, of vital importance, as the long-term reputation of our university impacts the value of the Wits degree in the market. Graduates, in your hand you hold the great gift of education. May I implore you to use your knowledge, your degree, to the best of your ability in pursuit of fulfilling your life's ambition. Today you enter the world as a graduate from one of the greatest universities on the African continent. You enter into a world filled with many challenges, but a world that is also filled with limitless possibilities. May you meet all the challenges and opportunities that await you with pride, drive, passion, innovation, social conscience, and positive purpose. Now that you are a Wits grad, please remain responsible. Whilst we certainly focus today's attention on our newest grads, it is also fitting to recognize those that have helped our grads through their academic career. Many of you have been supported financially, and it is likely that all of you have been supported with a great deal of encouragement. I would like to extend recognition to your loved ones, mums, dads, gogos, umkulus, and everyone else that has supported you through your academic journey. Please take the time to include and celebrate your achievement with those that have supported you. I would also like to spend a moment and extend thanks to the Wits academic team who have dedicated their time to teaching our future leaders. Thank you. Last night, you would have received an email to your student email address. Please ensure that you check this email and complete our graduate exit survey and provide us with your updated email details. This survey will take you about 5 minutes to complete and will assist in informing university policies and plans. I look forward to checking out social media to see how you're celebrating your graduation. #WitsiForLife. Please remain in contact with us, follow us on social media platforms, and join us for discussions, debates, and updates on LinkedIn. Wishing you the very best of luck in your future pursuits. We hope that you make us proud. And whatever you do, just remember, you got your edge at Wits.